Alrighty, welcome back. Got back today. We're back in Forearms. I hope you all had a good weekend. And had a good week. Last week went very well. Got pretty much every day done. Didn't do hamstrings on the Friday, as you can probably tell. Just didn't have the time after work, unfortunately, but that's alright. The main days I wanted to get done last week did get done. And it's been a big help moving quads onto the Wednesday instead of the Friday. This week should be good. Going to try and hopefully push some of the weight up on each exercise, even if it's just slightly, just to really try and push myself and really, go to failure, which I have been doing, but just in particular with the actual weight on the bar or weight on the dumbbells or whatever. Cables, there can be a slight exception too, just because, if you've been to the gym, everyone knows that, going up slightly on the cables, even if it's by one increment, can be quite a lot. So that one's just more of a, we'll take it exercise by exercise. It should be a good week this week. Feeling good about today. Had a good, decent lunch, so feeling good. Got good amount of energy. I think today should be a good back day. Try and keep to the same weight, but I do want to try and get a bit more form strict with some of the exercises today. Mainly just the wide grip row. It's probably the main one. Kind of neutral wide grip lat pull down. That's kind of fine, staying as is, and it's good to really try and put a good decent amount of weight on. Really try and squeeze. But with the kind of wide rows, I do want to try and make sure the form's a bit stricter than last week. But other than that, all the other exercises are fine as they are. Might even try and go up on the Iso rows, which would be good, because I'm only aiming for about 10 reps now, because I really want to focus on that kind of squeeze and even pausing at the top of the rep. I found it's really good. It's a good squeeze, good pump, and everything else will just be as is. Try and smash out today. Might try and talk, put a bit of audio on, but we'll just see how we go, because a lot of the exercises are in big communal areas, so we'll just play that by ear depending on the amount of people and what I feel like talking about. Should be a good day. Don't really have much else to say. Definitely starting to see some kind of physical changes of the cut. I have noticed recently that I'm a bit more vascular than I was before, particularly in my forearms, my chest, and my shoulders. Might not pick it up on camera, but looking in the mirror I can see there's a lot more vascularity there, or that those veins are coming through a bit more to the surface, so the skin's getting a bit more skin tight. I think that's a good thing, and I did a little bit of posing with my legs, and I can see they're a lot more defined, but I don't know if that's because of the cut or just because I'm smashing out quads, but also my calves as well. I think it's having a good effect. I'll just keep pushing through with the cardio, and try and keep up with the 6-minute cardio as well, just to stick with it for a little bit. I kind of dropped it off a little bit last week, but I think the current plan might potentially be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, only because on Monday and Fridays I can get to the gym a bit quicker, and ideally want to do around about three days a week at a max. I don't want to do any more than that, so I think those 3 will work. I was going to do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but doing them after the gym time-wise just isn't practical. You know, actually doing them is, you know, that's fine. You know, there's no issue there, but it's just, yeah, the practicality of it. You know, if I'm finishing up late, by the time I do that, it pushes the time out. And even though it's 6 minutes, it's then, you know, a little bit of recovery, going back, getting my protein shake, you know, yapping a little bit, then getting into the car, recording, and then, you know, driving home. It's, you know, there's a lot that happens afterwards that just pushing that time out a little bit, especially in peak hour, can really throw everything off. So yeah, I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday will probably be the best. Because what do I do on a Wednesday? I do chest. So for that day isn't too long, but it's a day that I'm fine with, you know, getting back home late, because we typically don't have too much on a Wednesday. So yeah, if I do have something on, I might even consider just increasing my cardio in the morning to maybe 50 or 60 minutes, and then that will make up the difference from doing 6 minutes in the afternoon. So it could also be a good workaround. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else stay the same. I'm gonna start trying to track my calories a little bit more. I started getting back into it. Well, I was really into it for ages. I was tracking, you know, every day, including weekends or when I went out and everything like that. And then kind of dropped off a little bit, just got out of routine, and then I tried to get back into routine, but I also dropped off again. So now I'm trying again to get back into routine, because I literally don't know calories or macro-wise what I'm eating. All I know is that I'm trying to do, like, get as much protein in as possible, but the meal sizes have reduced, and the frequency of the meals have also reduced. So instead of the amount of snacking I was doing leading up to, you know, a big meal, I'm doing less of. And if I am snacking, usually it's a smaller snack or something that can try and fill me during that period, but not be too heavy calorie wise. So that's kind of that's the mentality behind it. But yeah, that's about it. Should be just a nice simple week. Yeah, nice and chill. So looking forward to it. Got lots of posting to do, so I'll be relatively busy, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I'll leave it here and let's just smash it out. So I will catch you when we start doing some rows and start getting a good back pump. So I'll see you then.
my video, so.
Oh, sure, no,
Oh, cool, thank you.
Germany won the war. Germany, they won the war. The East Coast, yeah, but twisted into it. Yeah. But maybe the sci-fi will come in somehow and have
it's like a
it's not.
and it's supposed to be like what it is to be human.
But it's not very scientific, so as in it's a different general sense of
I'll Google it. I think there's a word for this.
historical twist.
Yeah, like, it's not, historical fiction.
Yeah, that's what it is.
When historical fiction is when it's in the past, though, and it's based on reality. But this is
Well,
like,
it is in the past, because it goes back to in the 60s. Like Hitler's still alive.
I need to work on that. It's a hard one.
Burning it.
Yeah. Do you track your exercises in an app or do you take notes? What? Do you track your exercises in an app or something?
No.
No? Just remember? Have your routine. Yeah.
Sort of back to the weights that I have to be.
Yeah, like the high risk one.
Yeah.
So, like, just ask for receptionists, because it will be unique to the, like, your surgeon.
Okay. I pretty much said 6 months, don't do high intensity. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But if that was because of the scar, and then after that,
So I think I have to do more with, if you come more then you might twist it or something like that.
get an infection.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they work with the twisting. Like, depends where you have the scar. Might be on the scar here. Like there? Yeah, yeah.
On the side,
So,
yeah.
if you just like twist funny, you can like protrude the scar. But really unlikely.
You'd have to
Usually
dislodge
in the
it.
joint, there's like the white stuff and then there's all the muscle.
Yeah.
So you've got a scar over the white stuff. That's all cut straight through, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
I'm going to take pride in my arse being
Yeah.
play basketball sim.
Yeah. I've got at the moment I've got 3 teams. I've played twice, well, sometimes 4. Sometimes I've got 3 games on a Tuesday night. But
Yeah, it's fine. Gotta go pick up my sister. That's sick. Me and Jim. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, and then I got to do on Wednesday. Ref Monday.
That much more. What was I doing? 50? Oh, yes, but no, I was there. Yes, I was on 52. Yes. 52. He didn't need the help to go up. Do the short? Yes, that's your shit. 12 reps.
Alrighty, back day done. Solid fucking day today. I'm going to tiny bit longer than I was expecting, but that's fine, not on a time crunch today. So yeah, it went really well. Good pump, just focusing on trying to shorten the rest period in between sets, just because I do notice quite the difference, but it's a balance, because I want to keep everything kind of warm and keep everything tense, but also don't want to fatigue my grip too much. Otherwise then it becomes more of a grip day than a back day, and I don't want the limiting factor to be my grip, where I'd rather it be that my back can't, pull the weight, then my grip failing out. But that's when you work around it. So like when I was doing kind of single arm high rows on the cable, previous weeks it's been an issue at the end of the session because my grip's already pretty fatigued. So like I did this session, I could feel it already going on the second set. So I put a handle on it, a handle attachment on the cable, but I upped the weight. So that way my grip gets a break, but I'm putting more tension and volume on my lats essentially, or my upper back. So it's that type of workaround. I felt like today went really well. I'm really happy with all the exercise and how everything went. I tried to focus a bit more form on the wide rows, but it was okay, not great, but I felt went well. But yeah, there's definitely room for improvement on that exercise in particular. Other than that, I think everything else went pretty smoothly. Nothing really to adjust. I'm glad that today went really well. I've not been doing back very consistently for the last kind of 3-4ish weeks. Went last week, but that had been my first session back in quite a period of time. So it's about just building that consistency back up again. I do enjoy a good back day, especially this one, because it's not too excessive in the amount of exercises. Hit all the parts of my back that I want to hit. They're good exercises, and it's something that I can kind of just keep going back week in, week out and hit nice and consistently. And it doesn't really take too long, as long as I get through like the wide grip rows and the wide grip lat pull-downs. Those are the two exercises that usually take the longest, because I feel like I need a bit more of a break. Everything else I can spam through. That's why I do like this particular back day. Previous ones, it's been way too much. Like I've had ones where I've done, barbell rows into wide grip rows, then into lats, and like already those three exercises are pretty, high volume, high weight. So I'm already pushing, probably the 30 to 40 minute mark already on that, just on those three exercises alone. Whereas, minus the kind of extra long breaks that I had today, I could probably get this session done in 40 minutes, maybe 50, and I've got everything done, including forearms. So I want to try and keep my back days a bit like this, because similar to arms, you don't need heaps of exercises to hit your back. You just need your core 3 or 4, and then you're pretty good. It's more, I like doing a few extras just to make sure there's no imbalances, because you got two kind of bilateral movements, I guess. Like you're using both your arms, so that way if my left is feeling fatigued or it's failing, my right's going to make up for it. So I've got 2 of those exercises, and then the last 2 are isometric. So they're both putting the same weight, it's the same exercise. So even if my right's fatigued, I've still got I'm still doing the same exercise. So make sure there's no imbalances. And, if an exercise has made me feel a bit more dominant in one area than the other, like sometimes I do like the isometric rows, and sometimes I feel like that exercise really hits my right hand side like really well, and then for some reason my left not so much. Maybe it's because my right hand dominance, that kind of movement is a lot more comfortable on that side versus my left because it's my opposite hand. Maybe that's the case. But then doing like a cable, that high single cable row would then try and counteract that that disproportionate side. So I'm kind of working around it or through it, and I feel like that's helped me quite a lot. So traffic again. It's just about making sure there's a good balance, and I feel for me this routine's got good balance. When I rebuild this program, I might swap out a few of them. So instead of doing wide rows, might do barbell rows again, but keep it to like the same amount of number. But even for barbell rows, that takes a while because it's a lot more weight, a lot more volume, and it's more fatiguing. Your CNS is usually pretty fried, so it's adjusting it. So then it'd be like, instead of doing that and then wide grip lat pull downs, it'd then be like close grip lat pull downs with like the pull up attachment, that type of stuff. I think back's been a good area for me. I think I've built some good definition of volume in my back. Similar to shoulders in that regard as well. Those are kind of the areas that always seem to keep up nicely. That's why like for shoulders, I binned shoulders off because they've grown and they've built themselves well, that for this program I didn't want to have them as a focus point. I want this particular program or this particular block to be more focused on quads and arms, and just having back and or back, chest and hamstrings is just more just to continue and to support and complement everything else. Chest will complement arms for triceps, back will complement like my forearms, and parts of your bicep as well, and hamstrings will complement my quads. So it's they're not necessary, but they're definitely a good option to have if you just want to make sure that everything's building correctly and everything's moving correctly. Because if I try and load up really, really fucking heavy on squats and my hamstrings are lacking, I'm gonna feel it. It's going to be a noticeable difference. So you need to make sure that those muscles are still being used, still being activated, still growing in some sense, but at the same time they're not the focus point. If I don't do them for a couple of weeks, I'm not upset. I'm not going to be disappointed, because I know what I'm focusing on for this block, and most likely we'll probably continue into the next block as well. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. If you've got any suggestions or feedback, please let me know. That's just what I'm doing, like all this kind of adjustment and building my programs and stuff. It's just from experience in the sense of just trying it at the gym and figuring out for my body and my physique, my build, what works and what doesn't work. Some of it can be or might be slightly research backed, in terms of I've found it off someone else who has done the research in which I believe that makes sense or that will make a change for me. and then I've gone in, tried it, and then made my decision practically. You know, but if you let me know in the comments if you say, you know, this exercise isn't actually good, research is back, blah blah blah, you know, you actually should be doing this based on blah blah blah, then I'll be more than happy to hear, you know, that feedback, because I'm just doing it from, you know, a gym bro perspective, where I'm just, you know, figuring out what works for me. And, you know, if someone comes in, provides me feedback with their own opinion, then I'll take it seriously. And, you know, if I can fit a new exercise into a gym day, replace it, then I'm more than happy to trial it out. I'm not, you know, hard stuck on my program. If something looks appetizing and a bit juicy, I might, you know, I'll throw it in. So yeah, let me know. I'll be more than happy to trial it. But yeah, that's probably it for now. Appreciate you if you're watching all the way to the end. Most of you might not, but that's alright. Just doing it for me. Yeah, today's been good. Enjoyed it. So I'll leave it here, and I will catch you tomorrow when we're on our way to do arms. So it should be a good day. Hopefully this time I can get the full session in, because I didn't last time. So that's my only goal for tomorrow. But I'll leave it here. Have a good one. Get to the gym, do your cardio, and I'll catch you tomorrow. See you then.